Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Chasing Optimum. I'm here with Jaxson. Jaxson, your surgery is finished.
It's done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. You feeling better?
Much better. Yeah. It's like I'm in that weird spot where it's like you half want to start doing things again, but
Yeah. Couple of weeks.
yeah, I think another week or two of rest and then I'll be able to sort of start integrating.
Around again?
Yeah.
That's good. You're probably just milking it so you can stay off work for a while.
I'm going crazy. I can't do it anymore.
All right. Usually with video ideas or podcasts, I usually just go with the impulse of let's do this topic or let's do that topic, and something will really just sit well. And, if it's not a guest, it's like a topic, but more that resonates with your heart. But I've got to address this one. I reckon I've had, and I'm not exaggerating, 20 messages in the last 2 weeks, maybe, of mums. And also it's mainly teenage boys, not teenage, maybe early 20s, mid 20s, addiction and gambling. Addiction and gambling. I had 3 messages this morning, just this morning alone, from mums talking about how one kid has got back into gambling, lost his entire career. Another one just doesn't know what to do. Can't seem to get him off gambling. And it's not just gambling. There's lots of other things as well. I was talking to another, I say kid, but probably the 20s.
About my age sort of thing.
Yeah. Last week, I said to the mum, I'll just give him a call and just have a chat with him. Because she's like, I don't know what to do. He'd love to. Can you just shoot him a message? And I said, I'll just call him. And he's just like, I can so see where they're at, and I really understand it. But it's in that junction of they really like doing it. They like doing it. So first of all, I want to say, you've got to realize an addiction, and people aren't going to really like this, but the people actually like doing it. That's why they're addicted to it. And there's all the reasons that it's wrong, but it's hard to process for someone who hasn't done it, because you do it and then you beat yourself up later. But the thrill of doing it outweighs everything.
100%.
Jaxson, I've caught you gambling many times.
Yeah.
To the point where you just gamble everything away. And I used to say, where's all your money going? Because you never have any.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to talk us through it? Just from, I didn't actually jump on for you to do it for David.
You brought in an expert
in this area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to talk us through your process and how old you are now?
Well, I'm 25 now, 26 in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Yeah, gambling, I reckon, is the worst form of, one of the worst forms of addiction you can be in. It's like you get stuck in this complete rat race and you chasing the win and chasing the win. I've got mates that are the same, but it's weird. It's only recently I was talking to Liv, and it's like it's sort of just gone almost, out of my head, naturally, eventually, you kind of start going what even, what's the point of doing all this? You're just getting rid of your money and this and that and the other. My Instagram reels, it used to be full of gambling content pretty much. Now it's I click the not interested because I don't want to do it anymore. But the vice that it has on you is, I think, one of the strongest.
And what made you do it, you think?
Boredom, probably, and the thrill. Some people don't get it. It's the thrill of the big win. It got to the point where you'd win $4 or $5 grand or $3 grand, and it's not enough. You just keep going because you're chasing that hard hit of dopamine. I can't explain it. It's
and I'm only asking so people can relate, because I totally get it. I was never a gambler though, but it's the same. It doesn't matter. It's drugs, porn, gambling, cheating. It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the build up, Jack. And people don't see that. They their mums, they're well-meaning mums. They want the best for their kids. You're never going to change it. You're never going to. The more anxious you get around it, and the more you're in there swinging away. It's a journey that the person has to go on.
Definitely.
It is. You can influence them by frequency and energy, which I'm going to talk about. But the more you push, the actually sneakier they'll get.
Yeah.
For sure. And it doesn't matter what you say or what you do, the journey of the person is, you've almost got to, and people are going to think I'm a bit, cold here, but you've almost got to let it play out and be a steady force in their life, because you can't see what's going on in their heart, and it's like trying to stay away from a girlfriend that you're in love with. The whole world couldn't keep you away, and I don't know if you saw that video about the princess. I think she was a Thai princess, and she gave up her royal status, everything in her life, to marry a commoner. You can't marry a commoner if you're in the royal family. I think it was Thailand or something like that. And you look at it and go, why would she do that? Worth billions and billions, got everything and servants and properties and things and life made. And now it had a video of her walking out of a supermarket carrying shopping bags. But it's the resonance in your heart that's actually driving you. So with that gambling or the impulse of addictions, it's the same thing. It's no different. You actually have to replace it. You'll never get rid of it. And I want people to understand that the fire that these people are going through, and I'm not saying just support it at all, but the fire that they're going through is actually making them better. Believe it or not, it's making them better. And when going through it's awful. Watching them, seeing them, being involved in it, it's awful. But it's also a superpower. I've said it on another podcast. It's a superpower. Having an addiction could be one of the greatest gifts of their life. I'm telling you. Doesn't mean everyone's got a wish for it, but it could be one of the greatest gifts of their life, because you've got a superpower. Not everybody does. To be able to hold focus on something regardless of cost, my goodness, that's a skill in itself. Now you just got to convert it in a way, and you won't do it until you want to. No one will make you do it. You can go to all the rehabs you want. How many people you've seen? I've never been to rehab in my life. How many people you've seen have been to rehab? And they go, this is my 11th time here.
Most people.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everyone.
Your sister did it. You did it. And I used to say with your sister, I used to say to the nan, stop sending her. What are you sending her to? It's like a holiday camp for her. Because she'd go in there and absolutely learn nothing and come out again and go straight back to what she's doing. She wasn't ready.
It was the same as me. It made me worse. I come out, and the first night I got out of rehab, I went straight on a bender.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, everyone's going to have their own journey, but you got to look at the stories that are created through life and then the outcomes of it. I can honestly say, if I didn't have the journey that I had, I don't think I'd be the same now. I don't think I'm an intensely focused person.
Yeah.
Jackson's laughing. Yeah, I'm an intensely focused person, but that brings strengths and it brings weaknesses as well. But the strengths that it brings is, keep marching. Keep marching. But had I not been in the gutter, I don't think I'd have the same resilience factor. I don't think I've watched you, Jackson, go from an absolute dropkick no-hoper at 18 years old, stealing everything. You just could not tell the truth.
No, I don't know why.
You were stealing everything you could get your hands on.
Off anyone.
Off anyone. You lived at your grandparents' house. That was my doing. Sort of.
I was still.
When your mum and I, we've said it before, but when your mum went and did what she wanted to do, then you went to your nan's with your sister. Logan and Phoenix came with me, and the other two kids, which were another dad, Richie's, they went and lived with him. So that was, I've said it before, but that was a mistake that I made. You should have been with me.
Yeah.
Would have been fun.
Well, I probably would have been running away though.
I would have been better.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would have, that was definitely I dropped the ball big time there. But you went from that, snorting coke every day at a job. You were at a job and snorting coke.
A few jobs, yeah.
A few jobs. Drinking every day. You're an absolute blob.
Yeah.
Used to eat rubbish. and used to steal stuff off your nan and pop left, right, and center.
And took no accountability at all.
Yeah,
Like,
you stole his watch and used to, and you would just, and I'd say, Jackson, give your pop's watch back. No, I didn't steal it.
Yeah. I just couldn't like, I don't even know. It's almost like I thought I was better than everyone else sort of thing. Like, and my opinion only mattered and no empathy and all that kind of thing. But I feel like I learned it over time.
Yeah, that's right. But I think also when you're in the midst of that, you're in survival mode. Like you're doing it because you're thinking about your next hit or your next gamble. Or
packet of cigarettes.
Have I got my next $300 to put on the pokies or whatever? But let's make it clear. You've been gambling right up until probably even a year ago.
Yeah.
Maybe close to, but maybe even inside of that.
Yeah.
It's just recently you've started to merge yourself out of it.
It's weird. It's almost like it's an impulse decision. Like gambling would only get brought on because I felt like having a big night, and like I wouldn't ever do it sober sort of thing. It'd be like I'd almost use gambling as an excuse to do other things and drink and whatever. And yeah, I don't know. It just like almost consumed me. But it's crazy the things you think about doing to get the money to get the next hit of gambling or whatever. Like when you're in that survival mode, as you're saying, it's like it just almost consumes your life where that's all you're thinking about.
Yeah, because it is exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I'm going to say now, that excitement, that's what you need to chase in life. But excitement comes in all forms. And when people, like the addiction factor, I mean, we only relate it to stuff that's not good. But if you look at it now, like I'm addicted to work, I'm addicted to getting better, I'm addicted to, pushing myself. That's what I've become addicted to. So am I a different person than when I was 25?
No, you just make different decisions.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just different decisions. So what I've learnt to do is attach myself to the outcome. So whereas before, when I was injecting drugs, I'd attach myself to the doing of it. Like that's where the thrill was. But now I attach myself to the outcome later in life. So everything that I do, like a choice forward, I'm like, okay, this step forward is adding to who I'm becoming. The other way is this step forward is just making me feel good in the moment, couldn't give a crap about later. That's sort of how it is.
Yeah.
Like think about gambling. How do you feel after you've lost $1,000 and that's all you had in your bank, and maybe not even that much, you borrowed some?
It's like the worst feeling in the world. Like I think it's worse than like any sort of drug, like how you feel after a big night or whatever. It's bad.
It's the worst.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah, it is. And like I used to go out and take drugs. I was not a very good dealer when I was younger. Like in the larger amounts, better, because you just do the larger amounts.
Yeah.
But when I was at the club selling pills, I was pretty hopeless actually. I used to just sell a few, give some to a friend because I liked them, and you want to be like the cool guy, and then I'd eat the rest. And then on Monday, I'd be like, shivers, I owe like $3,000 and I've got nothing, like zero.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I'm going to get the money. And then so you go and try and sell some more, and then you do almost the same thing. That's the worst. Talk about the cycle of trying to get out of it.
Well, that's another thing with gambling now. Like a lot of people I know, I used to do it too. You borrow those apps. They've got apps where it's like they'll send you $400, $500, $600, and then you pay it off on your net when you get paid, sort of thing. And
awesome.
But I know so many people even now that are doing it, and they do it to gamble. So they'll take out $300-$400, gamble it, and you can do it like on a bunch of different apps, and then they'll. Like come Monday or whatever after the weekend, it's like they owe $2,000 to all these different apps that they've lost gambling on top of the money they've already lost, and then you get stuck in that because you got to borrow again. Once you pay it off with your pay, then you got to borrow again, and then you like owe $1,000, and then you just go in this circle where you can't get out of pretty much.
Yeah. Always with gambling, and it's hard for me because I've never been a gambler, so I can't really relate to that. I can only relate to the impulse of doing it.
Yeah,
but I do link gambling a little bit to spending, like shopping, and like I never buy anything unless I've got the money and credit cards. So when I was 18, I went and got a credit card the day I was 18, and I went with my mate Sogs, and we're from Maroubra. We had no money, so credit cards like whoa. I went and bought shoes, this, that, all these things, like literally in a day, like filled the credit card up. I don't know what the limit was, maybe $2,000 or something, and never paid any back.
Even now?
Oh, I didn't pay any VAT. I got a car on a loan and never paid one payment.
I remember you saying something like that.
Yeah,
Like, I only used to take number plates off other people's cars.
I used to had this car that had no insurance, no nothing, whatever. And the police used to take the plates off all the time. And so I'd go and take someone else's plates and put them on and drive off again. I just had no idea what I was doing. But what I was saying to you is it's like that easiness. So the easier they make it, of course, people are going to go, oh, that's so easy. But you got to think to yourself, what's the outcome? The outcome is on Monday, I'm going to wake up and be so desperate, anxious, depressed, because you've got to rewire your brain to think outcome of everything you do.
It's breaking the cycle as well, I think. Like with anything, even like Liv and I were arguing. We were in this cycle of arguing, and we found out it was because of when we drink together. So then we just stopped drinking. We broke the cycle, and then no more fighting. It's funny how it works.
There's a saying that I've had your whole life. Do you remember it? You become
like who you hang around.
Pardon?
Like who you hang around.
Yeah, you become like who you hang around.
Yeah.
So there's nothing truer. And I think one of the things to actually break the cycle, like you're saying, is have different friends.
Yeah, and finding out who's actually your friend. Like if you like, what friends would go out with you compared to walking the dogs at the beach or something like that. It's like,
for sure.
Finding
different.
ones.
Yeah, your environment changes when you do, but also the people you hang around with, what they do, you'll become. Who they are, you'll become. And it's so true. And a good example of that is Logan. Like if you look at Logan, he was an athlete doing this and doing that. When COVID came, lost his way a little bit, but then his circle of friends changed, partying, this and that. I'm not blaming his friends for anything at all. It's more that his whole world changed because he started going in this different direction.
Yeah.
You know, remember he used to say, I'm never going to be like Jaxson, Dad. Never.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be like Jack. That's what he used to say to me all the time.
I remember.
Jackson's such a liar, Dad. I'm never going to be like Jack. He was such an honest little kid.
Yeah.
You know, and he goes, I'm never going to drink or take drugs. No way. I never want to be like Jaxson. So
it's funny though, because I think about that often, and it's like you think as yourself, you're like, far out. Like if I just made better decisions when I was younger, because I was supposed to lead by example, being the older brother. So you'd think like,
but you weren't to know.
Yeah, I know, but it teaches you. Like the amount of times I've said to like Liv's brother and stuff, like when they're having arguments, I'm like, just be nice. Like you need to like kind of lead by example and that sort of thing. It teaches you.
Well, when you start to think, that's right. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut.
No, it's okay.
When you start to think outcome, it changes everything in your life, because even me with Tara, like Tara doesn't mind like being up and down sometimes when things are, you know, she's got kids and things like this, you know, and I'm like, well, I can argue about this, but what's the outcome? You know, like if she's stressed, I can add to it and argue, or I could lean in and help her. She's feeling that way for a reason. And that's sort of how I'm living now. But, you know, unless I went through all of these different things in life, I wouldn't have the same perspective that I have now. I'd probably be different, way different. You know, now I'm focused on, well, how do I want life to be in the next few years? What's that going to take? What do I need to look like to do that? You know, if I have a drink, what's the outcome?
Yeah.
I can tell you what the drink, if I have one drink, the outcome is have another one, forget everything, get on the phone to the nearest Coke dealer, and I'll be seeing you in 3 days.
Yeah.
That's it. And I can see that's why I don't drink at all. I don't even go near it, don't touch it, don't put myself in environments where it is. Not interested. Not one bit, because the outcome is derail me for at least a week or two.
Yeah.
Energetically. So, but it takes practice to do that. And that's what I'm saying with someone who's going through this. The best thing a parent can do, I think, is not push.
Yeah.
There's a great saying, never give advice unless somebody asks for it. And I'm great at giving you advice, Jaxson, without asking for it.
Yeah, well, it's like you have this third sense.
No, but how do you feel when you were younger and I'm giving you advice and you're just nowhere near hearing it?
You don't, like sometimes when you would speak on the phone, I'd just go like that and like not even listen. Because at the time, you just like, shut up. Like you don't even care. But then it always comes full circle, I find. Because you always have this feeling that you shouldn't be doing it when you're doing it. Yeah. And then angels try to intervene, but you still push them away, sort of thing.
That's right. So the best thing I think a parent can do, looking at all the things I've been through now with all of your kids and all of this, is be a steady force in their life.
But not an enabling force.
Not enabling force. Do your thing, and they watch you. Kids watch you. They watch what you do. They watch who you are. They watch who you become over a period of time. So the best thing that you can do is be a shining example of what's possible. That's what I think. And then always be there for them. Don't enable them. Enabling them is the worst.
Yeah. I feel like people get that confused though. Being there for them and enabling them. Like a lot of,
Oh, absolutely.
I've seen a lot of parents kind of enable indirectly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you got to be tough as well. I don't mind being tough if down in that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, but you know, like Flora wanted to go to a party the other night, and she's 13, your younger sister.
Yeah,
you jumped in.
Yeah,
you said, no way, you're not going there. Same. She asked me, so she come to me, Dad, do you mind? La la. I said, no. I said, Flora, if I loved you, do you think I'd really send you there?
Yeah,
yeah. And so you know, there's a time to do that, but you've got to let people go on their own journey. There is no answer I'm going to give any parent on this podcast that's going to fix their kid. They will fix themselves.
Yeah.
But you need to be a steady force that's of attractiveness.
Mm.
You know, like show them like what fitness looks like. Show them what good food looks like. Show them what great support looks like when they need you. Don't stand there yelling at them like I've done with you.
Mm.
You know, we didn't talk for 2 years.
On multiple occasions.
For that reason.
Yeah.
I was just too in your face. And I was like, I'll forget about them.
Yeah, but I was too like just everywhere.
You were.
Well. Yeah.
But one day you rang me and come around. But, you know, the other side of that is Logan and I weren't talking either because he was on his own journey. 20 years old. What am I supposed to do? Like go and put him in a pram and push him around every day? Like it's a difficult one, you know? So you've got that outcome. Logan's got that outcome. My sister's the same. My sister killed herself when she was 27. And I went on that journey. She went on that journey and she just didn't make it around. So it's like, it's not an easy topic. There is no one answer.
Yeah.
But you can become your best self. And then I know you look at me every day, you know, sometimes thinking, oh, I don't really want to be like Dad. But you can see that, you know, I'm giving life a crack, see what's possible for myself. And I'm sure some of that, you take some of that in.
Most of it. Like, all I do all day is listen to you talk about selling people, not to drink and whatever. But
yeah,
it's definitely like your own journey sort of thing. It's just got to click. It's like, it's a weird thing. It's like, I can't explain it. It's the same thing with a breakup. When you have a breakup with someone, it's like, it hits a point where it gets to 3, 4, 5, 6 months where it clicks and it's like, oh, like you're back to normal sort of thing. It's like, you just got to, it's a weird one.
You know, one of the mums who called me today, she sent me a voice message from New Zealand and she said, he's done it again. He's done it again. He's lost everything again. You know what? It's the best thing sometimes because like the parent doesn't see this, but when that happens to you, it's another painful experience that the person goes, oh, I just can't do this again. And enough of those eventually gets there. I was like in my 40s, Jackson. I relapsed a number of times. You know, maybe not 40s, yeah, close, maybe around 40. But I relapsed so many times. But it was that feeling. At one last time I went, that's it. I'm not doing it ever again. I never went near it again. But it's like, took me a long time.
It's funny you say like who you hang around. I feel like your partner sort of thing as well. There was like we had a thing, Liv and I, it would have been a while ago now, but I wanted to keep going, keep partying, and she cracked it, like fully grabbed me by the ear pretty much. And
That's
was like,
Christmas party?
No, it was after. This was more recent, but not too long ago. And
like last week?
No, this is before my knee surgery, and she like fully like cracked it. I'm going to go stay with my parents. I'm not doing this. You promised, da 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 da. And it makes you like really think. Yeah. Any other situation, I'm going, bugger off, don't care. I'm going to keep on partying. But it's like, because I built that muscle over time and had so many of those arguments and things that I just kind of stopped for a second and went, I think you're right. And then didn't do it that night. So I feel like having someone in your life, whether it's you or like a partner that really like can make you think about what's going to happen in the next 10 hours, like then I feel like it really helps.
It's all about energy and frequency. That's why people are doing it. They're chasing the excitement, the energy of the moment. But to be the energy of the future, like to say, all right, well, and this is a message for the person actually going through it. So whatever it is, the gambling side of it or addiction, like who do you want to become? I think that's the thing. You've got to have this North Star that you really want to do. Like, who do you want to become? Do you want to be even just fitter? Do you want to be a bit more successful at work if you're in they might not have the job that they like, but do you want to find something that you're interested in? You've got to have something that's a bit bigger than the cost of the gamble, and that it doesn't mean you're not going to fall off. But when you've got something, a desire over here that's building and you want to become a bit better, sometimes that's just enough to just get you back on the horse, and you might go 4 months without touching it and then fall off again. And then next time you might go, yeah, okay, and then you might go 6 months. You're not going to be perfect. I think sometimes people think someone's going to say something. Oh, that's it. I'm fixed.
Yeah.
Away I go. Woo! No more gambling. It doesn't work like that. It's a muscle.
Mm.
That addiction has momentum, huge momentum, thought momentum, emotional momentum, energetic momentum, and you're in this thing. And it's like a runaway train. You can't turn a runaway train around in 2 seconds. It takes a time. It's like a big ship. One of those big ships. They don't turn around fast. They turn around very slow like this. But it's building that muscle of change. It's not easy. But when you've got a desire that there's something better out there and you want to find it, it's just one step forward. What's a better choice you could make today? Just one better choice you can make today. Is it the Stairmaster? This Stairmaster business that I get on and all of this stuff, that's just different than a syringe. For me, like I would do that as, inject things and whatever else. And for me now, the Stairmaster, people go, oh, how'd you do it for 3 hours? And I'm like, because I just decide to. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I want to break the world record on the Stairmaster, believe me, I will do it. I just can't do it at the moment with the time constraints because I want to, one day I think I want to do it. Break the world record Stairmaster, 24 hours, 110,000 steps. So I'm like, I can do that. But that pulsing light over there is what you've got to follow. So you've got to have that pulsing light. If you've got nothing and you're a bit like lost, it's going to be very hard for you. There's nothing driving you. Do you know, if I just left you in this flat over here, Jaxson, so on our property, we've got a cabin out the front. I walked past one day, you lied to me, but you got these gambling things on the screen. Oh, like poker machines or whatever it is.
That wasn't a lie.
I was like, that's weird.
I used to watch. Yeah, I used to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you didn't go over to the house over here, so you and I bought another house over here across the road and you've moved in there, you got your own house now.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that's given you a bit of motivation?
1,000%.
Yeah.
For sure. Like on the weekends, I feel like a dad sometimes, like hosing all the concrete, journeying things, and it kind of gives you more insight into what life could be.
But it's given you a bit of a shining beacon to say, life, yeah, that's right. Life could, what you just said then, life could be better if I just make decisions that line up with this.
Yeah.
That's why you've got to have, and you've got to allow the people to find that. You have to. And it could be fit. It could be as easy as fitness. I just want to get a bit fitter. Great. Go to the gym. Do that. But stick to it every day. Just one step, stick to it. And that's going to lead to something else. And then what else is possible? What else is possible? But you've got to let the person click into something. You can't decide for them. That's why the Stairmaster for me, I get on there and I'm just like, no, I'm not getting off this thing. I'm staying on here. Even though I want to get off, I'm staying on here. My body as well. Like I want to sculpt it. I want to see what's possible at, I'm 53 now. So at 54, I'm on a less gear at the moment. So I'm just giving myself a break, but then I'm going to sculpt into something that I really want. But it's a good thing for me. Like it's a good thing. People say, oh, testosterone's not good for you. It's way better than cocaine and things like this. Like I don't mind it. So it's like, but that's the thing where I've got like a bit of a beacon shining over there at my work. Real estate. I didn't love real estate. It was just a lot better than what I was doing at the time. And I was like, yeah, I could get pretty good at this. I didn't have to love it. It just gave me a bit of self-worth. And I was like, what's the possibilities within this? And that's still driving me today, Jack. Do I still work hard? Do I still do my thing? Do I still have targets?
Yeah.
You got to have something to shoot for. But once they find that, then they just have to, and if someone's got a gambling problem listening to this or they've got a drug problem, sure, it is what it is. Just who cares? Like you got a bit of an addiction. That's fine. Now you just got to say, well, what do I want to convert that into? I've got the ability to focus. That's all addiction is. I've got the ability to chase. I'm resourceful because I can make drugs pop out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm resourceful. So maybe I just need a career where that's sort of similar. Sales is a bit like that. So maybe I should go get a job in sales and see what I can manifest. You know, all of those skills that addiction taught you, they're going to be very useful in that type of job. But put you in a library, categorizing things every day, you're not going to do that well, probably, because it's boring as hell if you're wired like my brain and your brain. You need to be stimulated, but just in different ways. That's all it is. You're chasing the stimulation when you're locked into addiction. Put you in a boring environment, what do?
Try and make it fun by finding other things, or
You'll be straight on that phone
yeah,
with your mates. Let's go do this, because you're looking for that alignment feeling. And the drugs give you temporary alignment. The gambling gives you temporary alignment. Imagine, though, you decided that you wanted life to give you the alignment.
yeah,
You wanted life to see what sort of alignment can you get in life. Imagine the rewards that will come for that. Instead of the robbery that comes from drugs or gambling, and it's robbery, frequency robbery, financial robbery, health robbery, all of it. Just talk about chucking it down the drain for temporary 2 seconds of fun. Imagine what the rewards would come from if you decided to say, had enough of doing that over there because I don't like the cycle of it. But over here, I'm actually going to see what's possible in life. How good can life be? That's what goes on in my head all the time. How good can life be? How good can it be? Because there's a code to this thing. There is a code to happiness in life, an amazing life. And that is one step forward, move yourself forward doing something that's good for you. Become an expert at gut health. Imagine if your gut health is amazing. Imagine how good you feel. Do you want to have a drink then? Because you've made this beautiful garden inside of you that's making you pump and feel better than ever. I have to talk carefully here because people say, oh, you're not a psychologist, you're not a this, you're not a doctor. No, absolutely I'm not. But I reckon I've got a degree in life. That's what I reckon I have, a degree in life. And I reckon your mood is directly related to how you treat yourself.
yeah, 100%.
I do. There's two things. It's how you treat yourself. So health-wise, like nutrition, supplements, all of this sort of stuff, and what you're shooting for. Two things. You got those two things happening, you can't feel not good. And things aren't always going to go good, but you're like, doesn't matter, I'm marching in this direction and I'm going to achieve it. I'll tell you one thing a drug addict loves is a challenge.
Yeah.
A challenge. Sorry, mate, got no speed this week. Or got no Coke this week. All right, that's it. I'm going to find it. They'll spend all day on the phone trying to find it, and they'll find it somewhere down the south of Sydney or somewhere, and they don't even have a car. They'll get a train. They'll go do this. They'll go do that, and they'll get it. They'll come home at 10 o'clock at night and go, yes, I did it.
It's more fun than the actual drugs a lot of the time.
That's right. They're super resourceful.
I feel like that kind of thing as well, it wrecks a lot of, you could be at just a normal family sort of gathering or this or that or the other, and the whole time you got your head buried in your phone and cut off from everything. Yeah,
absolutely. So that's what I mean. The robbery from those actions, that once you get it and you look at the reward from the good, solid, consistent actions, mate, you just never touch anything again. But you've got to get to that point.
Yeah.
And the reference that you've got is amazing, because you're like, if you've done this enough over here where it's not so good, and you're like, I just can't do it anymore. But you're probably going to do that 800,000 times. I can't do it anymore. How many times have people gone out and drunk, and then on the Monday go, I'm never going to do that again. They do it every week.
Yeah.
You get to that point. But once you start to see that life is literally, there is no measurement, or there's zero limit to how good this life can become, you make different choices. Once you start to feel that, and it fixes your depression, it fixes your anxiety, it fixes your worry, it fixes your everything. Once you start to get on this cycle of, chasing optimum, that's really what it's about. Once you get on this cycle of it, you don't want to get off. So I look at it, if someone could put a line of cocaine here today, 5 years ago, you couldn't keep me away from it, maybe a bit longer than that, but couldn't keep me away from it. Today, it would be there 3 years later. I wouldn't even touch it, wouldn't even look at it. I'd blow it off the thing and go, see you later. Not worth it. That is not worth all the work I've put in so far. But you've got to get to that point inside. There's a saying that I have, you want it, you'll do it. Plain and simple. You want it, you'll do it. And that's both sides. You want to be a drug addict, lose a drop kick over here, which I have been, talking about myself here. You want it, you'll do it. It doesn't matter what the cost is, you'll do it. You want to wreck your life? Do that. You want to become the best that you can be? reach for better every day and see what's possible in life, same goes. You want it, you'll do it. Both takes effort, both takes focus, both takes commitment. The outcomes are completely different. But there's one thing that this universe rewards action with, and the thing is consistency. So if you're consistent, you will get the reward. You can't go between both. You'll never find what you're capable of going between this and going between that. Once you decide that you want the best out of this life and you want to become better, and the price that you're willing to pay is consistency, then you will have everything that you want.